Welcome back. I don't know what the finger thing was. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dialar's Tactics. We're going to keep rolling on the deep dives, and in today's video, you saw the thumbnail, you clicked on it. It's Tristan. He's behind me. All right, come on, Tristan. Let's talk about you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in these videos, I like to dive a little deep, explain a character. We're going to go over his gear. We're going to just basically explain everything about the hero. And the reason why I chose Tristan was because the game gives them to you. I think it's adventure. I think it's story chapter 3. Chapter 3, I think. So he is somebody that, you know, if you've been playing the game and if you just started the game, you're going to be using him. If you're an end game player, you're still going to be using him. There are definite end game uses for this character, and he's not bad. He's just a mid-tier single target damage dealer. Okay, so let's talk about Tristan. All right. So, Tristy boy, like I said, everyone gets him for free. So, you are going to use him. And he's other than the really stupid, like, Beowulf Vikings dumb haircut, you know, it's a cool design. I like the shoulder pad. I like the little shuriken thing there. You know, whatever. I don't mind Tristan. In fact, I want to work more on my Tristan. So let's talk about the passives. Why do we talk about the passives first? Because the passives are there. They're the same for the character regardless of what relic you run him with. So let's talk about passives. I didn't refresh my knowledge of Tristan prior to making this video, so hopefully I don't royally screw this up. Now, passive number 1. First thing I want to show you, mine is max, but look, this is a 5-turn cooldown. 5-turn cooldown. Very, very long. So when attacking, doesn't matter what skill, when attacking, attacks one enemy 4 times. 4 times. Total damage, a percentage of his attack. He's going to gain crit strike damage, so crit damage increase for 1 turn, but only if the target had protection. Now, what I don't like is that when attacking, he's going to do this attack 4 times, but if that first attack, if the enemy doesn't have protection, you're not going to get the crit strike damage increase. Now, there's a way you can mitigate that. There is. We'll talk about when we get to chivalries, but this is one here where when you add more chivalries to him, you actually kind of break his whatchamacallit. You kind of break his passive, because this was originally when attacking and the enemy has protection. Blah, 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 blah. But we'll just go to it right now. We'll show you. Here you go. So he changes it, activation condition, to when attacking. And inflicts additional target damage, blah, blah, blah. Regardless, the increased damage, regardless of whether the target has protection. If the target has protection, grant self-crit damage increase for 2 for 1 turn. So the way that reads to me is that if you attack and he does not have protection, it's still going to trigger this and it's going to go into cooldown, but you're not going to get the crit strike damage increase too. I hope they fix that. That's really, really bad. Or unless I'm reading it wrong and you gain this. I don't know how this works, but the way it reads is at Chivalry 1, you probably lose the ability to get your crit strike damage increase too. So we can test that, and we'll maybe look for it when I show you some gameplay footage. So that's just P1. His P2 is when attacking if the target has protection. See, that's how his P1 was. That's how it is when you're C0. Decrease all of his passive cooldowns by 6. So that's kind of cool. Why? Because if you have P1 maxed, it's going to just refresh this and he's going to do another multi-attack. He's going to attack one enemy 4 times. So his P1 and his P2 are actually good. If you get this all the way to maxed, you get 4 uses. You can only do that 4 times. Which, when you're attacking like someone like Penvid, which is the what is that? The token protection boss. If you have to go through 4 phases of protection phases, you're doing it wrong anyway. So, you know, the max uses is not really relevant, but you know, at least you'll use it twice in a Penvid fight, maybe, depending on your team. So that's how that works. Decreases all his cooldowns, and then you can do his P1 again, right? If you have him C1 or higher, then you're going to just do this when attacking. Otherwise, it's going to be when attacking when the target has protection. You see, his kit's kind of wonky. His P3, his passive 3, trauma. When attacking, good again. Recharge Tristan, recharge his attack gauge by 40%, and it's 60% at max. Gain attack speed increase for the rest of the battle. Now, this is a 5-turn cooldown. So you can kind of see how this is going. This guy's like, he's a single target, multi-hit nuker, basically. Because 5-turn cooldown, this reduces it by 6 turns when you hit somebody when the target has protection. So basically, you're going to hit them if they have protection. Well, you're going to hit them, you're going to trigger your P1, your P3, and then when they have protection, you're also going to reduce all your cooldowns. You're going to reset your P1 and your P3, basically. Cool, very cool. Which is going to give him lots of attack gauge, going to give him attack speed increase 1, which buffs his attack. Yeah, we'll talk about that in his kit. But kind of cool synergy. I just wish that P1, the protection mechanic, I wish it didn't disappear. Like, I wish it activated when the target had protection, because, like I said, with C1, you're losing that crit strike damage. Okay, so that's his passives. Kind of get it? Was that clear as mud? Hope so. All right, equipment. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about relics first. Let's go to relics. Relics. So he comes in his wind relic, which is decent. It's decent. You can use his wind. You can use him. You can definitely use him. Now, when you're trying to skill up your skills, it is random. But in my opinion, we'll maybe run through the relic first. So let's look at his S3, which is his big hit. So attack one enemy 3 times. And then remember the passives, you're going to follow up with another 4-hitter. Total damage is equal to a percentage of his attack. But then each point of attack speed gives him more attack damage, right? So his attack speed is going to act as a multiplier on his attack. And then inflict attack speed decrease. So that's the little red sword for 2 turns on the enemy when you do your P3. Then if the target has protection, attack again. So you see that he's a real big protection nuker, right? If you want to get through shields, he's going to be your guy. So you want to max this one because this is going to be his big whammy hit, especially against targets with protection. If we go look at the other ones, attack one enemy, just once. Attack one enemy once. And then 4 attack and attack speed. So already worse. Already far worse. 100% chance to attack or to inflict attack speed decrease for 2 turns. So you see, not good. Not good. His Frost S3 is not good. His Fire, a little bit better. So, his Wind, attack 4 times. Or 3 times, sorry. But his Fire is kind of nice because it's going to attack 8 times. And look at that juicy attack damage multiplier if you get it way up there. And then he's also going to gain that 0.6 percentage attack for each point of attack speed he has. So that's good. And then he's going to get, instead of inflicting attack speed decrease, he's going to 100% chance to charge his attack gauge by 30%. And he already has all that stuff in his passives where he's going to give himself attack gauge too. Now, you see, though, they clarified this, is that it's attack 8 times, hitting 1 random enemy each time. Randomness isn't that great, because if you're in Penvid and you're trying to attack the boss, there is a chance he's going to hit everything but the boss, right? So, although this relic is available in the guild store, although this seems appealing, if it was attack 1 enemy 8 times, that would make this much better. So in my opinion, just based on his S3, I do think his Wind, which he comes in, his default, is probably better. Now let's look at his S2 on the Wind. Attack 1 enemy 2 times. Again, for attack, and then you get a little bit of a multiplier for attack speed. Then, if the target has protection, which his S3 also had, if the target had protection, deal an additional attack 1 time for attack, and then gain attack speed increase. So his S3 applied attack speed decrease. His S2 gives him attack speed increase. Let's look at the S2 on the Frost. Attack 1 enemy and 1 random enemy. Okay, so already don't like it. Total damage, blah, blah, blah. If the target had protection, deal additional damage 2 times. In my opinion, wind is still better. You know, if he has protection, you're going to hit him 1 time, but you're also going to gain attack speed increase, which is going to give you more DPS because he converts attack speed into attack. So Frost, S3 sucks compared to wind. Frost, S2 sucks compared to wind. What is the fire one? All right, attack 1 enemy. 1 time. Same thing, 100% chance to inflict attack speed decrease, which the S3 does on the wind. And then if the target had protection, attack 2 times and gain attack speed increase for 1 turn. So the flame probably has the best S2. Got a lot more in there. But so attack 1 time if the enemy has protection, attack twice versus attack 2 times, attack once. So regardless, you still get your 3 attacks, but the wind is going to hit more regardless if the enemy has protection. And the fire, you know, is going to give you attack speed increase and inflict attack speed decrease. So okay, let's look at the S1. Attack 1 enemy with a chance to inflict attack speed decrease 2. Okay, cool. Attack 1 enemy, and then 50% chance to inflict attack speed decrease 2. What was the percentage chance on this one? 80. So wind better. Fire, 50% chance to inflict blah, blah, blah. So I'd say, in my opinion, the wind is far superior. The red is only superior. The S2 is superior on the red, on the fire. And I'd say that the S3 is superior if you're attacking a single target. 1 single target. Because then you're just going to lay into him 8 times. So the fire might have some niche uses, but if we're being honest, for how limited you're going to use this guy, wind is perfectly fine. So that's his kit. You see that he gains attack from attack speed. He obviously wants to hit targets with protection. And he's all about giving himself attack speed increase and then inflicting attack speed decrease, which is good. Okay. So that's all the relics. Again, wind, which he comes in, probably the best. Let's talk about equipment. So you saw that he gets additional attack from attack speed. So as such, you want to build him, since he is a damage dealer, you want to build him very easily in a speed set with crit rate, because he can crit, and you want to focus on attack speed. So obviously you see my crit rate is at 64%. That can go higher. That crit rate can go higher with a crit rate banner. Do I have a crit rate banner? Okay, what is he? He is a stag. He is a stag. Let's look at banners. I'm pretty sure there is crit rate in here. There's crit damage. Crit rate. Ta-da. Okay. So with this maxed out, that gives another 26%, which means another 26% on top of this puts him close to, or puts him at 90. Puts him at 90, right? So 90% crit rate, cool. That's how you want to go for. So attack speed set with a crit rate set. You're going to want on the neck, you're going to want attack percentage. And obviously you're going to look for crit rate substats and attack speed substats. And then crit damage substats. His neck, you obviously need a crit rate, or ears, sorry. You need a crit rate ears because you do want this guy critting, because crits are, it's like double the damage. And again, look for the substats we talked about. His ring, obviously you want attack speed because that turns into attack. You see this one has crit strike damage and crit rate. Very cool. And then these ones you can't change, but you want to shoot for as high of crit rate as possible. Keep in mind, it is going to be like mine's only at 65 because I don't have the banner unlocked. But on the banner, you do want the attack speed orb, right? Obviously. And you want a crit rate or crit strike rate banner. And then you just want attack. On the belt. Again, substats, in order of importance are crit rate, and then attack speed, crit damage, attack percentage. That is his gear in a nutshell. Very straightforward. One of the few characters that you actually want in a speed set, which is kind of nice. Okay, let's talk about chivalries. Holy hell. Okay, chivalries. As we already discussed, his C1, it sounds good, but it's not, because it basically takes away, since you're going to do unless the unit you hit has protection, first hit, if he's the first one that goes, the unit has protection, you hit him, then he'll get the crit strike damage or the crit damage increase. He's going to get everything else with the C1, but you're probably it wrecks. It kind of screws with your ability to give yourself crit damage increase. C2, attack, cool. More attack is good. Trauma inflicts, and trauma is his P3. Trauma inflicts bladed gust on a single target enemy for the rest of the battle. What does that do? Resistance down. Crit strike resistance down, meaning, and if I'm reading this correctly, you can crit him easier. So this is going to give him kind of, in an odd way, more crit rate. I didn't even realize crit strike resistance was a thing. But if I'm kind of interpreting this correctly, that's like giving you plus 20% crit rate. So cool. Okay, that's cool. That's good. Make sure that you're not make sure you're targeting someone. Although his P3, let's go look at his P3 again and see how this interacts. It is trauma. When attacking, so it's just when attacking, right? When attacking. So make sure make sure when you attack. And it honestly doesn't say that it doesn't have limited applications. It sounds like you can maybe apply this to everyone on the field, which is kind of nice, actually. Kind of nice. Not game-breaking, but kind of nice. So, C1, I don't know. I got mixed feelings. C2 attack. C3, okay, but nothing game-breaking. Crit strike damage, cool. Attack crit rate, ooh, okay, so you get more crit rate. Okay, so you can even build them for less crit rate. You can maybe run a crit strike or a pierce banner. Attack. And then this one, anger. So with this C8, anger charges this hero's attack gauge by 80% and grants prepare transparent throwing star for 1 turn. 1 turn. 1 turn. And I do believe anger, we got to make sure we know what anger is. Anger is his P2 when attacking. So this is going to trigger right at the start of battle, right at the start of the battle, along with his P3 or his C3. Attack one enemy 5 times. Total damage each point. Yeah, so it's just that's a big turn 1 nuke. That's a huge turn 1 nuke. And then he's going to get to go again because he's giving himself 80% attack gauge. Is that needed? No, but it sounds like a pretty juicy nuke. So really, out of his chivalries, I like the stats, but for mechanics, the mechanics don't really make him transformative, right? So, C8 is nice. I know there's going to be people who are going to be like, oh, C8 is awesome. It is. But is that worth all of these Lego memory stones for a character that you're not going to use that much? Let your conscience be your guide. Ooh, 20% crit rate. Okay, so if you get him to C10, you can definitely run a Pierce banner or a Pierce or a crit strike or a crit damage banner. So, and then element compatibility, 5%. Someone asked me in a comment section what this means. This C10. That just means that when you're going against your opposing element. So he's wind. So if he's going against ice and it says plus 25% damage, it's now plus 30% damage for his element. So it just makes more and more damage every time you attack someone on your opposing element or your strong against element. All right? Okay. So that's the character in a nutshell. He's okay. He's all right. Now let's talk about usage. Let's talk about where you're going to use him. So let's just talk about, first of all, if you're a starting account, if you're going to get him, develop him, use him, because you are going to use him in endgame. Like, you can use him in everything. Like, I would say, if you're even in hard, you're gonna use him. You can use him in Crom Crotch, single target damage dealer. You can use him in, is it 5? You can use him against this guy. I was using him against this guy, taking out the legs, because single target damage dealer, he's good. You can use him as a damage dealer, but just keep in mind he's a single target multi-hitter. And, K can do that as well, so K can be good damage. As soon as you get Bedivere, you're going to replace him with Bedivere, because Bedivere is just a better single target damage dealer. But you can definitely use him in main story. You need him. This is one of the places endgame where you need him, is in adventure mode, chapter 10. I'm going to show you, because it's the only thing I haven't completed endgame wise, is this goddamn worm chest. So you're going to see, yeah. That sound haunts my dreams. These are the characters you got to use. And you do need him at you do need him pretty beefy, because I can clear the worms, and I don't know if this tells you who it is. I can clear the worms just fine, but then I get stuck on these two guys because they heal each other and they give each other shields. And my Tristan isn't strong enough of a damage dealer to kill them. And then this guy obviously does no damage. She does no damage. He's a dot hero. Of course, Isolde can extend dots, but you're going to need Tristan probably higher chivalry levels in order to down this guy, but then you get all this good stuff. So you do need him end game. So you can safely develop him knowing that you're going to use him. Now, those are very, very niche uses, right? Like, you can use other heroes in story. You can skip that chest altogether. It's not going to affect your gameplay. Oh, is it 6 o'clock? It is. Everything just reset. Cool. Give me things. And then what? You're going to pop that up. Oh, you're going to give me all my daily perks. Yay, diamonds. Okay. Where else are you going to use this boy? We're going to use this bad boy. Obviously, you're going to use him. You don't need him in Forbidden Dungeon. You don't. You can use him in Sealed Temple until you get someone like a Bedivere. You don't have to use him, but you can use him as a single target damage dealer. Hey, obviously, you're going to need him in the Stag Dungeon, right? You're going to... What? I can open this for crystals? No, thank you. 240, that's too steep. You're going to need him for Stag Dungeon. And I have completed stage 10. Pardon me. Should have covered my mouth. But so you are going to need him there. You are going to need him in the chapter 10 adventure. But then if we're talking dungeons. So if we're talking... Oh, my dog just cried out of the blue. I don't know. She's getting old. So I did use Tristan in Frozen Plain. And I do believe I had him. Since wind is strong against ice, you can use him here. I think my video showed me actually using him in a free-to-play team because he gets given to you at stage 7. So you can definitely use him there. Like him, Kay, Turin, Morgan. Right? I think that was the team. I think I tried replacing Kay with Arthur. Tristan better than Arthur. So you can use him here. Okay? You can... I used him here. I did use Tristan in Shrine of Storms at first because he applies the attack speed down, which is strong in this dungeon. And there comes a point, if the battle's not going your way, that Tarask does give himself a shield. So, obviously, he can be okay here. But end game, or end these 8, 9, and 10, not going to use him. Not going to use him there. I did use him, I think, up to 7, but then I stopped when I found a better team. But you can. So, beginning game, yeah, I would develop him because you probably will use him until you get other characters. But even end game, other than that one chapter 10 adventure chest fight, you are going to use him every day. every day in Plane of Beasts 10. You're going to use him through every fight. Why? Because he gets a leader ability for this fight. Activates in Plane of Beasts and Stag Favor. Grant all allies attack speed. That's cool for them, but what it also does for you is it turns attack speed into attack. So since it reset, I can use a full 3. So let's make sure I am targeting the boss. And let's go. Let's show this guy in action, because this is where he's going to be used. So let's take this down to 1. Why? Because this goes fast. So now he has protection, right? So he should be the fastest. So he is going to get all of the benefits of hitting somebody that has protection. So he's going to get all those extra hits, which is going to take down the shield a lot. You see, it's already down to 3. So now Kay's going to come take down the shield. He goes again. Big hit. You know, that was like half of his damage. He's going to hit again. He's basically killed him. And then Bedivere's just going to tap him. You don't need Bedivere. You could use Rosie or somebody. Just somebody else that can just give him a little love tap now. Little love tap. Boom. And he's going to go away. He's going to go bye-bye. Put him on the barbecue. So you saw that a C1 somewhat developed Tristan is very good. Very good for this fight. So, safe to develop. Safe to develop, safe to use. And you get him for free. Other than that, can you use him in some of these? Well, he's wind, so you'd probably want to use him here, but he's not good here. He's really not good here, so you're not going to use him there. You know, like I said, you will use him in Clan Raid, because Penvid is in Clan Raid. So, let's see. We don't have any in level 24, but you can, you may, you might. So, is he a good hero? He's not game breaking. He's not OP. He's not bad though. For what he is built for, like you saw it in that Penvid 10 fight. What was that? That was on 1 speed, and it took us what, 10 seconds? So, against a target with protection, which is so niche in this game. It's so niche to go up against a unit with protection. I know that there's a lot of little units out there scattered throughout the game, but those don't matter. Those really don't matter. Penvid's really the only boss that has the shield mechanic, and it's really the only one that, you know, his only real best in slot use. So, ladies and gentlemen, to sum him up, not Betty, Tristy boy. You want him, you know, all of these are okay. Chivalry's C8 is okay. You want him in attack or speed gear with crit rate gear. You saw all the extra stats of crit rate in his Chivalries. So there's going to be a point where you can like start building for crit damage over crit rate. So, you know, with the crit rate earring and the crit rate from his substats or Chivalries, you can run a lot of crit damage on him too, and he hits. He's okay. You saw he does good damage, especially against targets with protection. So we're gonna end that right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is my deep dive into Tristan. Yeah, blonde hair weirdo. Looks like Guy Gardner from Green Lantern. I think that's the memory he's triggering in me. So, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make that the word of the day. The safe word of the day. Guy Gardner. Put Guy Gardner down in the comments section below. I'll know you made it to the end of this video. I will thank you profusely. Like your comment. Check out all of the links in the description, please. If you like me, go be a supporter. It doesn't cost you anything. It actually gives you things. The link for that is in the description. I just put out a video yesterday showing how you redeem your free stuff. All of the links are good. Master Spreadsheet's good. All the links are going to take you to good places. They're going to give you good things. I hope you enjoyed this video. The code word of the day is Guy Gardner. Catch you in the next one tomorrow. Cheers. Peace, everyone. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.